Learn to fast.
Right.
These are really good things to do, beloved. If you can discipline yourself, I'm picking up on Darren again, he talked about discipline. If you can discipline yourself, beloved, to go without that which is natural, then any unnatural inclination that you may have, you can kick it up. Unnatural inclinations is cigarette smoking. That's not natural, beloved. See? The first time any of us tried to smoke a cigarette or a spliff or a cigar, whatever it is that we smoke, a pipe, whatever, the first time we tried it, beloved, we coughed our head off. And we said, oh, that's disgusting. But then a couple of days later, we tried it again. And then we tried it again. And then before you knew it, we could... we were blowing smoke rings. And you notice all the sisters laughed at that. They all recognize. We're blowing smoke rings, beloved. Before you knew it, we could talk with the thing hanging out in the corner of our mouth, beloved. Have a conversation and don't drop the ash. And because then we could do it in that fashion, because we could do it and blow the smoke through our mouth and nose at the same time, because we became expert at it, we now think it's not natural. It's very unnatural to draw pure fire into your lungs. Smoke and your lungs are incompatible. They do damage. And also the smoke, especially cigarettes where you have over 4,000 different chemicals, they actually attack the head of your sperm for the men. And they damage the egg in the female as well. So these are just some basic things that we need to understand. Drinking alcohol. Think about a liquid that you put into your system that then makes you dizzy. Just think about it. Think about the logic in that. Think about something that you put into your system that makes you vomit. Because it's poison. And just because we take the poison sometimes in little doses, then we think it's all right, but it's not. Over a period of time, it begins to calcify your organs. And it begins to harden your arteries, and it begins to affect your ability to function at your optimum and peak level. Bad food. I'm talking about the things that we do which are evidently very harmful, and we think we got no power because now we say, well, boy, when we don't have a drink, well, I feel bad. Because you see, these things are also addictive. See, all addictions, when you try to stop the addiction, you suffer, for want of a better term, something called cold turkey. You know, you can start to, if you've been used to eating one big chocolate cake every day, because some people are like that, beloved. Under the quiet, beloved, no, when nobody's looking, beloved, a whole cake. And they'll say, I'm just going to have one slice. And then that one slice turns into two, and then half a dozen, and then you look, the cake is just getting smaller and smaller. In Jamaica, they got this term. When you eat something to saturation, we call it Clyde. Clyde. Some guy's name, Clyde. They have Clyde. But it just means that you just get to a point where you literally feel ill. And then your system, because of the extreme of the sugar that you've consumed, begins to break down. And you get ill. And these things become patterns. And these types of addictions are real. Then when you don't now have the cake, your body is craving it. Your body is craving that degree, that level of sugar. And then when you eat some more sugar or some more cake, you feel good. So then you think, oh, this is natural. It's not natural, beloved. So in order for us to curb unnatural desires, unnatural cravings, we must learn to fast, which is going without the natural. Which is just general food and drink. When you can deny yourself on that level, it means that all unnatural things you can deny. But you've now got to be able to deprive yourself for a specific purpose. It's now, you're not doing this to just hurt yourself or to just starve yourself or nothing like that. You're doing this because this now becomes a prescription. Which is when a lot of people get ill, you go to the hospital, you read their little chart at the end of the bed, it tells you nil by mouth. Because the doctors know that when they're going to give you medication, quite often, if there is a lot of stuff in the system, the medication won't take effect. In order for the medication to take effect, the body has to be empty so that the medication can go directly to the point that it's needed to go to. This is why nil by mouth. That, even your own body is naturally like that. That's why often you get sick, the first thing you go off your food, you can't eat. The body wants to heal. But then somebody will come and tell you, you know, eat yet? Eat something. Yeah, in the black community they'll tell you, eat before you get hungry. No, beloved, it's not a good philosophy. And that comes from 400 years of slavery. In slavery, you couldn't find a fat slave, beloved. They didn't exist. Fat slaves did not exist. We were mostly starved. And the food that we ate was very, very limited, and mostly it was bad food as well. And so most so-called slaves were very skinny people. And so once the enemy said, you are free, one of the things that came with freedom was the ability to eat a bit more than what we had during slavery. And so what happened was that as some of us became weighty and fat and shiny, the cheek just the saying among black people when they saw a black person who was big and more shiny and kind of, boy, you live good, you look well. And so fatness, being overweight, became equated with living well. But it's not natural. The natural state, the natural condition is to be slim. Hear me well. Strive for it. Go for it. Be slim. The human body has certain shapes and contours. See, like a man, you're supposed to be able to see, with a man, you should be able to see some shoulders. You should. You're supposed to be able to see some shoulders, then it should go in a bit like that and then kind of come down. Yeah? Not, that shouldn't go out like that. That's the female. She's got rounded parts, whereas the man is supposed to be more angular and square. You get me? So these are the shapes that we should be aiming for. We should aim for it. I used to make the mistake of saying, listen to my language. This is what I used to say all the time. I used to say that I've got a slow metabolism. Because some people have got fast metabolism. Some people, believe me, them can eat anything and they don't put them. I had a friend like that. He's still around, and I'm telling you, this man I've been cooking since I was about 7, 8 years old in Jamaica. I was always somebody who could cook. I learned it from my parents, watching adults cook things. And when we were like younger teenagers coming into our 20s, me and my friend, we used to live together in a house, and we used to cook all the time. We used to have these big cook-ups and have our dinner, whatever. And when he would cook, all the time he's cooking, he's eating. I mean, it was ridiculous, beloved. I mean, and I'm watching him, and this man, it's like he's cooking, and he more than he's cooking in the pot, he's eating. But this man could never put on weight. I mean, not like normal, mager. And so we always used to say, well, you must have worms or something. There must be something inside of you eating the food, because it don't make no sense. I always classified myself as the opposite to that. And so I would say, all I've got to do is just walk past the cake shop to put on weight. I don't even have to eat the cake, just walk past the shop. Just look on it, oh, that's it. 10 pounds. I don't say that no more. I don't say that no more, because that's actually talking yourself. You got to remember that your subconscious mind is very powerful. And if you are one of these people, when you meet people, you say, what's your name again? I'm really bad with names. When you say I'm really bad with names, you are telling your subconscious mind that that's your reality. And after a while, you will never be able to remember a person's name. But you've got to say the opposite. You've got to tell yourself, I'm very good with names. I am very good at remembering everybody's name. And if you make that a mantra in your life, after a while you start to remember everything. That's how you do it. Be careful what you tell yourself. Because yourself, the subconscious self, the true self that's hidden, will believe anything and everything that you tell it. This is a law that all of us have got to come to an understanding about. Tell yourself that you are brave. You will become brave.
That's right.
Tell yourself that you're strong. Tell yourself that you're successful. Stop this self-talk that says, boy, oh God, Lord, oh no. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. It becomes a self-fueling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy.